I do generally try to keep things on this channel quite positive if I can, because, you know, there's enough nasty things go on in the world without me being miserable all the time. At the same time, I love a good rant. A few months ago, I put together a video on this channel about why sometimes, even as a joiner or cabinet maker or whatever, you sometimes just can't get away from buying some functional cheap stuff from the likes of IKEA and stuff like that. If you just need to kind of build some shelves quickly and you're not that bothered about what it's going to look like and how long it's going to last. Okay, it might be made out of cardboard by robots, but at least generally speaking, stuff from IKEA isn't dangerous. But I do want to stress again, bespoke stuff handmade by a professional woodworker will be in a different league quality-wise to stuff that is mass-produced. And that comes at a cost because it takes much, much longer. But if you simply can't afford to go down the bespoke route, it is important that you're not prioritizing cost over safety, and that's kind of what this video is about. I bought a bed for my daughter a few years ago, and it's broken, and it's broken in a really, really dangerous way. So on the off chance anyone out there does have the same design of bed as this, I do think you need to know about the problems that I'm going to be explaining later on in this video. And to put a bit of a positive slant on things, if you are ever planning on making a bed for yourself or for someone else, hopefully you can learn from this video how not to do it. Luckily my daughter wasn't seriously injured when it did break, but had the bed been configured in the bunk bed type design, then she could have honestly broken her neck when this fault happened with the bed. So the bed in question is a Home Essence Neptune bunk bed. And as I say, I got it from Tesco direct, but then it says on the thing from Tesco that it was sold by Wayfair. Wayfair do seem to be taking the matter seriously and are investigating it further, which is great. Good on you, Wayfair. So I'm not having a pop at them directly, but I guarantee this bed will be getting sold all around the world under different names. This is a product that should have lasted at a bare minimum 10 or 20 years. You know, if I was building a bed for someone, I would expect that it lasts a lifetime, not 4 years and then catastrophic failure that could have seriously injured my little girl. So I hope you understand where I'm going to be coming from with this. I'm not a happy chappy, and if you've got one of these beds, I would seriously consider just getting rid of it because it's almost unfixable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this a bit of a two-parter so it doesn't drag on for too long. So don't forget to hit subscribe so you see part 2 when I release it in a few days' time. But in today's video, I'm going to show you what's wrong with this bed, how it broke, why it's dangerous, and hopefully what you can learn from this if you are planning on building your own bed. Later on, I'll also show you how you can identify this particular bed so you can make a decision for yourself on whether or not you need to do something about this. And then if you are a woodworker, I'm going to show you a couple of approaches that I might take to make this bed safe and secure for my daughter to sleep on. Now, this is one of the side rails off the bed itself in question. And a couple of years ago, the slat supports, so these bits that go down here, broke on a different bed, so one of the other bunks. The slat supports just literally fell off. And I reattached them, properly glued them, didn't use nails, so I'll cover that in later on in the video. I thought, okay, maybe it's just like a one-off bit where the glue hadn't been clamped properly or something, whatever. But that was a couple of years ago that happened. But then, a couple of weeks ago, on the other bed, the other part of the bunk bed, one of the side rails completely snapped in half. So literally all that happened was my daughter sat on the edge of her bed and it just broke. And you know, my daughter isn't even 10 years old yet, and a sub 10-year-old sitting on a single bed, she wasn't jumping up and down on it or anything like that. She just sat on the bed and the side rail broke. It left really nasty nails exposed on the slat supports, and it could have been a whole lot worse. So here's one of the side rails of the bed, one of the ones that's not broken. But I'll show you everything that's really pretty shoddy about the design of this. You can see the side rails going like that, and then the slats get screwed into this supporting rail. So basically this rail here is taking all of the weight of the person sitting on the bed. And you can see, first of all, the side rail, rather than it being one solid piece of wood, it's got a join going all down the middle here, because for whatever reason, they've glued two pieces together, presumably just to use up scraps in the factory or whatever. Why they haven't used a single piece of wood, I have no idea. And then it's like, okay, maybe they've done that to get rid of bad bits and knots in the wood, but we've got a giant knot here, we've got a big knot there, we've got a knot there, knot there. It's just really bad quality wood. I would not use this wood for a customer project that had to support any weight, because we've got weak points all over the place in it where these knots are. And the next thing, and as I say, this had already broken on one of the beds, these slat supports, this should really be one continuous bit of wood all the way along the side rail. But again, out of complete cheapness, they've used 4 separate sections of wood. So we've got one here, one here, one here, and then one at the end there. Again, I can only assume they've done it like that to use up scraps and more low quality wood in the factory. I'm not sure what wood this is. It seems to be some sort of softwood, but I'm not sure. And each of these slat supports is only held in with 3 crappy nails. And you can see how well those nails have held. They've just not held at all. And then on top of all of that, I mean, to be fair, to give them their credit, if I show you on the broken piece here, they have at least recessed the side rail where the slat support sits into it. So that will offer a little bit of support from that ridge. It's not great, and I wouldn't deem that as being anywhere near sufficient to support the weight of a human, but at least they've done something, I suppose. But then you look at, here's one of the pieces that broke off, and you can see the glue line, and the glue line's still in its original shape. This glue should be spread out across the full width of the wood, but instead the glue's just been squirted on. That's been nailed in place, and there's been obviously no clamping, no spreading out the glue. So the glue hasn't ever made good contact with the wood. So effectively, all of the weight is being taken by these 3 rubbish little nails here. And you can easily have a situation on a bed where, for example, if you just sit, say, here, well, almost all of your weight is going to be taken by this nail, because your weight isn't really going to be distributed up the rest of the side rails or on any more of the slats. So it might get spread between 2 or 3 of the slats, but you could end up easily in a situation where your whole body weight is just being taken by one nail and a badly glued joint. So it's no huge surprise that this was going to fail. And the only way to fix that properly is to take all of these off. So this would be 8 per bed. So 16 of these would have to come off. You'll probably end up damaging them while taking them off, but you would have to take these off, get the nails out, scrape all of the bad glue off, get a nice clean joint, glue it properly, clamp it, maybe put some screws through instead of rubbishy nails. And then in terms of how the rails are attached into the headrest and the bottom rail of the bed, basically we've got a threaded connector through this end bit and then two 8mm dowels. It's not great, but I wouldn't expect this part of the bed to fail, especially if you can glue the dowels, but if you glue the dowels, you're never going to be able to take the bed to bits again. So I can understand why the dowels are left dry, but it's not great. It really should have a proper, either a removable connector or a proper mortise and tenon joint on the end there. But then, if we look at the side rail that broke, this is where things get really interesting. So it would have been together kind of like that, and you can see the point where it's broken is kind of here, which is to be expected. That's where my daughter sat on the bed and literally this all broke in half. And the reason it's broken in half is because, look at this. We've got rot running all the way up this section of the wood. So that would have obviously been together like that. And because of this rot, I mean, it's broken all the way along this rot line. And it's hard to say what it is because it looks like it's got little holes in that look like it's caused by some sort of insect damage. If anyone has a better idea, I don't know, it doesn't look like dry rot. It looks like more some sort of insect. Let us know in the comments below if you know what sort of, what's caused this. Is it just dry rot? I'm not sure, but it's very soft. I can just dig my nail straight into that rotten section. So it doesn't surprise me one bit that this is split along here. But what's really exacerbated the problem is that because they were absolute cheapskates and used lots of different sections of wood for the slat supports, it meant that the slat support couldn't even offer any support. Because if the slat support had been properly glued in as a single piece of wood all the way down from one end of the bed to the other, I will almost guarantee that this wouldn't have broken in such a catastrophic way. But because we've got this cheapo, absolutely, why they've done the slat supports in sections like that, it's for no other reason than to knock like 20 pence off the production costs of this bed. Absolutely shocking. And as I say, if this had been configured as the upper bunk, my daughter would have fallen all the way through and probably broken her neck or lacerated herself on these nails on the way through from the top bunk all the way to the bottom bunk. It's absolutely lethal. If you've got one of these beds, get rid of it. So I've had a quick look around the internet and I've seen a lot of very similar looking beds to this getting sold everywhere. Now, I don't want to be a scaremonger because I've got no idea whether this is an isolated problem or whether it's a more widespread issue. But if you have a bed that looks like this in your house, here are two things you can check. First of all, this rail that supports the slats, is it one continuous rail that goes all the way down the length of the side rail of the bed? Or, like this one, is it in sections where I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections that make up that slat support? That's generally a bad sign. And if it is made in sections like that, are they attached properly? And there's a couple of ways you can check that. First of all is literally, can you feel movement on this, or do they seem pretty solid? You can also have a look down the edge here and see, does it look like this has a good bond between this piece of wood and this piece of wood? What you could also do is try and get one of these sections off and see if it's got that wiggly telltale glue line where the glue has just obviously not spread out properly, and that generally indicates that the joint hasn't been clamped together properly and the glue hasn't been sprayed before doing the clamping. In part 2 of this video, I'm going to cover off a couple of approaches to repairing a bed like this, so hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'd love to know as well, if you do have a bed like this, have you seen similar problems? Pop it in the comments below. And of course, if you do know anyone with a bed like this, please do share this video with them so that they can have a look into the problems for themselves. Part 2 will be out very, very soon, so catch up next time. Tatty bye.